The unseen girl. The marketplace was loud. Merchants shouted. Wagons rolled. Bells rang. But no one saw her. She sat quietly near a broken bread stall. Her body was small, too small for an omega. Her skin was pale, sickly. Her eyes wide, scared, tired. Her name was Mira. But no one ever said it. To most wolves, she did not even exist. To them, she was nothing. Not female, not useful. Just another orphan thrown away after the plague killed her parents. She had lived like this for years, sleeping behind market stalls, stealing scraps, drinking from rain barrels. No one helped her. Worse, no one wanted her. In her culture, Omega girls were chosen young, claimed, mated, trained to serve their alphas. But Mira had been ignored. Not once had anyone shown interest. The elders whispered, "She's cursed. Small. Useless." She told herself not to cry. Crying wasted water. Water was survival. She sat still, hugging her knees as tall alpha males walked by with their claimed omegas. The females had bright eyes, full curves, proud faces. Mira had none of that. She was weak, broken, invisible. And then, something changed. An alpha entered the marketplace. He did not shout, did not push. He walked slowly, looking around with curious eyes. His clothes were simple, travel-worn, but he stood tall, commanded respect without demanding it. Mira had never seen an alpha like him. Most were cruel, loud, aggressive. This one was different. He paused near the broken stall. Mira froze, thought he would walk past like everyone else. But he did not. He turned, looked directly at her. She panicked. No one ever looked at her. His eyes narrowed. Not in anger, not in disgust. Something else, something. Soft. "Are you well?" he asked, voice low. Mira could not answer. Her voice refused to come. Her mind screamed, "Do not trust. He will hurt you." But he did not move closer. Just waited. Her small hands trembled. He looked at her for a few more seconds, then reached into his satchel and pulled out wrapped bread. Slowly, he placed it on the ground between them, then stood. "No pressure," he said. "You look hungry. I will not bother you." And then he walked away. Mira stared at the bread, waited 1 minute, 2, 3. No one came to take it. No one attacked her. Slowly, she reached forward, grabbed the bread with both hands. It was warm, real, soft, not stolen, not dirty. She bit into it, and for the first time in her memory she cried. Not from pain, from kindness. She did not sleep that night. Her heart beat fast, not from fear, from hope, dangerous, warm hope. The next day, she returned to the same spot. Did not expect him to return, but he did. Walked by, saw her, gave a small smile. "You stayed," he said. "That is good." This time, he sat across from her on the ground, placed a small flask of clean water in front of her. "I am Aldrich," he said, pointing to himself. Mira stared at him. He pointed to her gently. "You, Mira," she whispered, barely loud enough. He smiled wider. "Mira, that is a lovely name." No one had ever said that to her. No one had ever said her name with respect. That day, she drank clean water. Not stolen. Not fought for. Given freely. The next day, and the day after, Aldrich returned. Never pushed her. Never asked for anything. Just brought small things. Food, water, a soft cloth to sleep on. He talked about his travels, about distant kingdoms, strange creatures. Slowly, Mira began to speak back, just a little, just enough to make him smile. But not everyone liked what they saw. Others in the market whispered, "Why is that alpha talking to her? She is not even a real female. She is dirty, weak, trash." Aldrich heard them, ignored them, but Mira heard them too. And it hurt. That night she looked up at the stars and asked, "Why does he see me when no one else ever did?" She did not know the answer, but her world had started to change. The question. Mira sat beneath the wooden overhang, watching Aldrich from a distance. For 7 days now, he had brought her food, water, even a blanket. He spoke softly, never touched without permission, never shouted. He smiled like she mattered, but Mira could not understand why. Why me? I am nothing. That evening, Aldrich returned again, sat down, placed a small wooden box on the ground. "I brought something," he said. Inside, a bar of soap and a folded dress. Simple, old, but clean. "Thought perhaps you would want something better to wear. If not, it is fine," he said quickly. Mira did not speak, stared at the gift like it was fire, dangerous, warm. No one had ever given her clothes. He stood to go, but this time she spoke. "Why?" He turned. "Why are you helping me?" Her voice shook. "I am not female. Not to them." She pointed toward the market, toward the wolves who whispered. "Them. Everyone. No one ever wanted me. Not even to use. I am too small, too ugly, too nothing." Aldrich knelt slowly. "That is not true," he said. "You are more than they see. They are blind. I see someone brave, someone strong." She looked down, silent. "You did not give up," his voice softened. "You are still alive. That takes strength." She held the cloth tighter. "No one ever gave me anything. Not until you." Aldrich's eyes were warm. "Well, get used to it." That night, Mira did not sleep, kept looking at the dress, held it like treasure, did not wear it yet, did not feel worthy. But deep inside, something small and dangerous began to grow. Hope. The challenge. Next day, something different happened. As Mira waited at the market edge, a large alpha male approached. Face rough, eyes mean. "You think the alpha will make you his mate?" He growled. Mira froze. "You bring shame, sitting with him like you matter." He shoved her shoulder. She fell. Before he could step forward again, a strong hand grabbed his arm. Aldrich. He had arrived, just in time. "Back off," Aldrich said, cold. "Dangerous." "She is nothing," the male hissed. "Just filth." Aldrich's grip tightened. "She is more than you will ever be." The crowd gathered, whispered, some shocked, some expecting violence. But Aldrich did not raise his fist. Simply stood between the male and Mira. "I will say it once. Walk away." The male growled. But he left. Aldrich turned. Mira was still on the ground, trembling. He helped her up gently. "You well?" She nodded slowly. "You did not have to do that. He will come back." "Let him," Aldrich said. "I am not afraid." She looked up at him. "Why are you doing this?" Aldrich gave a small smile. "Because someone should have done it long ago." Her chest hurt. Heart raced. No one had ever stood for her. No one had ever looked her in the eye and said she mattered. The shared meal. The air was cold that morning, but Mira's hands were warm for the first time in years. Wrapped in the dress Aldrich gave her, she sat quietly at the market edge. That morning, Aldrich came with 2 plates, real food. Cooked meat, bread, roasted vegetables. He sat beside her, placed 1 plate in front of her. "Same food, same warmth," he said casually. She stared at it confused. "You eat too." "I do not like eating alone," he said. "You do not have to hide anymore, Mira. You sit here, I sit here. That means you eat here, like me." Her eyes burned. She held back tears. Slowly, she took a bite. Still warm, still real, still hers. They sat in silence, both chewing slowly. "You could have eaten anywhere," she said. "Why here?" He leaned back, thinking. "I noticed you, and I wanted to. No one ever notices me." "I did," he said. That simple answer shook something inside her. The relocation order. The announcement echoed across the square like thunder. All unclaimed Omegas will be relocated in 3 days to the work camps. This is the law. Mira stared at the town crier, legs frozen, heart dropped. Everyone whispered. She is on the list. They will ship her off. Aldrich arrived just in time to see Mira standing still, eyes wide, basket trembling. What happened? She looked at him, tears building. They are sending me away. The law. I am unclaimed, unwanted. Aldrich clenched his fists. He knew about the work camps. Harsh, cold, dangerous. Once sent, no one returned. They cannot do that, he said. They can, her voice cracked. If no one speaks for me, I am gone. Silence stood between them. There is one way, Aldrich said quietly. She looked at him, confused. If I claim you, they cannot relocate you. Her breath caught. What? In your culture, if someone chooses you for mating bond, they cannot take you, right? Mira's face went pale. Yes, but that is for mates. A life bond. You would be tied to me forever. I know, Aldrich said. She shook her head, stepped back. No, you do not understand. It is sacred. Once said, it cannot be broken. I mean it, he said gently. Mira stopped. Tears rolled. Why would you do this? You do not love me. Aldrich walked closer, took her hand. You think I do not see you? That I am still waiting for someone else? She did not answer. I see someone who was never seen, he said, and now I cannot look away. Mira could not breathe. I am not perfect. No one is, he said. They will talk, judge. If you claim someone like me, they will laugh. Aldrich smiled softly. Let them laugh while you and I build a life far from their cruelty. The bonding. That evening, Mira walked through the village like a ghost. But this time, not because she was unseen. Everyone saw her now, because beside her walked an alpha, holding her hand. They stopped at the council's bonding hall. A recorder watched from behind a desk. Name? He asked without emotion. Aldrich Thornfeld, the alpha said. You understand the meaning of this ritual? The rites, the duties. I do, Aldrich replied. Name of the Omega. Aldrich looked at her, smiled. Mira. The recorder blinked, raised an eyebrow. There will be questions. Let them come, Aldrich said. The man marked documents, raised a branding iron. Place your hand here, he told Mira. Her fingers shook as she placed her small hand against the plate. The iron glowed, marked her wrist with the bonding seal. Now you, the man told Aldrich. The iron marked his wrist as well. Bond confirmed, the recorder said. It is done. As they walked back through the crowd, wolves stared. Some sneered, some looked away, but some were silent, confused, curious. Mira did not care. Her heart beat fast, chest full. She looked at her wrist, where the seal glowed faint silver. Symbol of bond, of belonging. I still do not understand, she said. Why would someone like you choose me? He stopped, brushed hair from her cheek. Because no one ever gave you a reason to believe you were enough, he whispered. So let me be the first. She stared at him, wide eyes wet. And the last, he added. The declaration. The next day, the sun rose slowly over the village. Something had changed. Mira stood outside Aldrich's small cottage, dressed in the simple cloth dress. But today, it no longer felt borrowed. Today, it felt like hers. Word spread like fire. The alpha claimed the orphan girl. The one no one wanted. It is official. Midday, the village council called for an announcement. Crowd gathered near the square. Mira arrived, walking slowly, hand in hand with Aldrich. Gasps were loud. She is really here. He brought her out. He is not ashamed. Mira's heart pounded. But she walked tall. For the first time, she did not look down. The head counselor stood at the platform. In accordance with bonding law, he said, Mira of the slums is now recognized as a legally bonded Omega. She may no longer be relocated or ignored. Murmurs ran through the crowd. And as for the Alpha, the counselor continued, you have made a bold choice. You stand against tradition. Are you certain this bond is what you want? Aldrich stepped forward. I am more than certain. He turned to the crowd, voice loud, clear. You looked at her and saw weakness. I saw someone who survived every day. You ignored her, called her trash. I call her mine. Silence. Mira felt her chest tighten. Fingers gripped his hand harder. Aldrich was not just defending her. He was declaring her worthy in front of the whole village. After the announcement, the crowd shifted. Some left quickly, others watched. But the most surprising moment came from the smallest place. A little Omega child, maybe 5 or 6, ran up and tugged Mira's dress. Mira looked down. The child smiled. You are pretty. Mira blinked, stunned. The child ran back to her mother, who gave a small, respectful bow. Mira's heart could not take it. She turned to Aldrich, whispered, Did you see that? He smiled. They are starting to understand. She shook her head, tears building. No, I am starting to understand. Understand what? That I am not invisible anymore. Epilogue. That evening, the village was quiet. Stars returned to the sky. Inside the cottage, Mira sat beside Aldrich near the hearth. She leaned her head on his shoulder. What now? She asked softly. We live together, one day at a time. She smiled. I have never had that before. He looked at her. Then let this be the beginning. She crawled into his arms, hugged him tightly. I want to be with you forever. He held her close. You already are. Outside, the wind moved gently. And for the first time in years, no one laughed at Mira. No one called her trash. No one looked away. They saw her, really saw her, as a bonded Omega, as someone who mattered, as someone loved by an Alpha who did not care what the world thought. And deep inside her heart, the little Omega girl who used to eat scraps whispered one final truth. I was never nothing. The end. She was invisible, unwanted, called nothing by everyone who passed. But one Alpha saw her, truly saw her, not as trash, not as broken, as someone worth fighting for. And sometimes, being seen by just one person is enough to change everything. What moment touched your heart? The first gift of bread? Aldrich defending her? The bonding ceremony? The child calling her pretty? Share your favorite scene. If this story moved you, like and subscribe for more tales of the unseen becoming loved, rejected Omegas finding their Alphas, and bonds that defy the world.